Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everybody. This is The Natural Way. This is Dr. Nathan Rabb, and we are upstairs in the building here, getting ready for sharing for the people who are listening. It's always a pleasure to share knowledge, and everything seems to be in order at this point. Only I'm moving my head and it ain't moving, but okay, there it did. It just moved up. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and we are here to share some knowledge. There's a lot of people are coming into the facility these days, and and some are calling in. They're doing it in various ways, and our job is to get them as much knowledge as we can so that they can overcome whatever things they are attempting to overcome. There are those who, have a lot to learn about natural medicine because they get caught up with allopathic and, put a lot of pills in the body instead of putting, natural foods into the body that can help the body to create new life. And if we can just get everyone around to that agenda, everything will be much better. I understand the medical folks would not necessarily like that. They believe in cut, poison, and burn, and all of that kind of stuff. We believe in natural, things that come from God's pharmacy. And we've been moving down that lane for in excess of 40 years. My birthday on yesterday was celebrated at the age of 88. So I'm now into the I'm finished into the 88, or you still have to go up till you get to 90 again, and I'm praying that I'm here for that too. There's a lot of things that you can do if you put your mind to it, and if we are desirous of being healthy, we really have to learn some things about being healthy, and understanding that everything doesn't come out of a can or come out of a pill or whatever. And we have some capsules in our program, but all of those come from natural things, and then we put them into the capsules, and they work just like they're supposed to. When you have issues in the body, all of these things can help you to clear it up. It can help you to, that's why we call it detoxification or cleansing. Either way you go, it's telling you that these are things that can assist your body in removing waste. Because when we don't remove the waste, it builds up and up and up, and we see it in various ways. There are those who are obese because of eating a lot of the wrong things. And there are those who are undernourished, but the same difference. They're eating the same things. And what we are attempting to do here, and why we do this program, is so that we can share knowledge with people who really want to make a difference. If you are one of those who, you're happy where you are, and you think that you don't need natural, you can just, when something happens, you can go to the pharmacy, you can go to the doctor, and they can do this and that and whatever. If you have that mindset, then that's the road you're going to follow. But there are those who get to a place on the road to where everything is going bad, and now they come here looking for relief. We work hard here, and we've helped a lot of people, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we can fix all of your problems. The sooner you start working on a problem, then the better it will be for the individual who has the problem. If you sit around and wait until you go through 2 or 3 radical type of programs, and then now you're still failing, and then you come here, that's at the wrong time. Or we wouldn't refuse to assist you as much as we could, but we're not going to sit up and tell you, oh yeah, we can cure this and cure that. No, the body heals itself. What we, the people, need to do is start feeding it right, giving it proper rest, and then we will get rid of a lot of the other mess that we go through. So let a word of to the wise be sufficient. If you want your health, you have to work for it. It's not just going to happen with you doing any and everything you want to and thinking that everything's going to be peachy keen. No, you're lying to yourself. So learn how to eat to live instead of live to eat. See, the more natural things you put into your body, the better off you're going to be. But if you keep putting in things that are, have a lot of salt or a lot of animal products and all of these things, then you're opening up for really disaster. And what happens in so many cases is when a person gets a scare, we have a lot of them show up here. They kind of rhymed. When they get a scare, they show up here. But we never tell anybody that we're going to cure this, cure that, cure that. No, we're going to walk down that path. We will assist you as much as we can if you follow the instructions that we give you. And we have done that for many, many years, and we've helped lots of people. Did we help everybody? No, because everybody didn't want help. Everybody didn't seek help. Everybody that even showed up here didn't participate. But there were many that did. And we have people that come in now and they want to hug me, and a lot of folks don't want to be touched because they're afraid of COVID or whatever that might be. And I don't mind hugging somebody. I have no fear. Do as much as you can for your own body, and you can kind of fortify it. And so I'm not saying be ignorant or whatever, but all this fear is what gets the most of us. The fear of something, and we just run amok looking for a savior or something to keep us from, getting the boogeyman. Well, the boogeyman is usually on your plate and what you put into your mouth, and now you put things into the body and you don't put them in the right way. You don't let the body break things down periodically in the summer. And so things sit and sit and sit, and a lot of things happen. So we really need to practice more of putting natural things in the body instead of, just putting a lot of stuff in the body. That's the way that this cookie crumbles. The better health you put into your body, the better the health is going to be. But a sick person can also get well, but they have to make some changes. They can't keep doing the same thing. And there are those who, will just tell you right out, I got to have me some meat. Well, if you think you have to have it, so be it. But when you're attempting to get your health back, there are a lot of great things out there that can help you turn it around. But you have to turn your brain around and turn your head around so that you can see the light in the distance, and that way you can get involved in natural healing and do it right. And it's not an overnight thing. It doesn't happen instantaneously. It's time. Most of our programs, cleansing programs, go to a month and a half. Now there's some of the people who do it once a day. so it's going to take them a month and a half to finish. There are those who do it twice a day. They may be done in the 1 month. But it really doesn't matter as long as you follow the proper procedures that we have, given you. We give you paperwork and you read it and you follow it if you want to get the results. Now, if you're a person who just hitting and missing, or you go get something and it lay around for years and years and years, I guarantee you that won't change. Because if you never do something with it, put it into your body and do the things necessary to clean up that body, to get all of the things, the lumps and the bumps and things that have grown up in there because you were feeding them, then that's when we have to put the other shoe on or the sock on or do whatever. We have to make a change and start doing something different, because if you continue to do the same things that you've always done and you expect a difference, that's the definition of insanity. And no one wants to admit to being insane. I ain't crazy. I got good sense. Yeah, well, then you need to put it into practice, because life is a precious commodity. And people who are lying on beds and can't get up, and I'm not talking about folks that are 100 years old. I'm talking about some that are half that, or some maybe even less. But it's because we have a certain thing that we want to do all the time. And when it comes to food, things that we use as food, then a lot of that is part of what's helping people to, to go through demise, because they're putting things in the body that will not help to keep them well. In other words, it will make you sick. A lot of the pharmaceuticals that we put in our bodies over and over and over and over, they don't make you well. You may be able to get, a break early on when you start doing something like that. But if you're someone that is continuing to drop these pills day after day after day after day, then you're going to have more and more. I've seen people with bags, those big Ziploc bags with yellow stripes, just loaded with stuff. And some of the questions, I'll just ask a question, how many drugs you have in that bag? And they'll tell you something like 20, 30, there's some astronomical numbers. But somewhere, someone should be telling somebody, you can't take all this stuff every day. It's not going to get you well. It's just going to mask the symptoms. We the people, what happened to our, why don't we look into some of these things? But a lot of people are looking for somebody to take care of them. And so when you have somebody taking care of you, then you don't do a lot for yourself. You just keep showing up at the doctor's office or wherever you go to to get your medication, because medicine and medication is two different things. And a lot of people are being medicated, and when you come to medication, it's really basically the same thing, but it's not something that you're supposed to do every day for the rest of your life. You get something that if you need something to get you going for a little bit, then you back away and ease yourself into the natural way. And if you start with the natural way, it's as good as you can get. But sometimes there's things that you need to do just to get a stopgap. And then you make sure you bring the right nutrition into the play. And this is what helps to bring the body back into its full station of being healthy. And as long as we work that way, we can have much better life. We have, right here at the the Holistic Health Service, we are there to assist people that really want to get well. We're not there to, you know, browbeat you. We're not there to coddle you like you're a child. We're there to share knowledge, to give you some paperwork, give you things that you can use to follow a plan of eating properly, all of that, and even give you guidelines on how, you know, hey, you know, are you exercising any? Are you doing anything to help your body? And just from the size of some of the people come in, you know, they're not doing any of that, but they're looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle, you know, and there's some around. You might find a miracle somewhere, but you'd be much better off if you know, put into your body the things that are natural and can help to clean it up as well as build it up. Because that's all detoxing is. It's getting the garbage out so the body can heal itself. But if the body is full of garbage, how do you expect it to get better? You figure, well, I can just throw some pills on it and that'll make it. Yeah, good luck with that one. So learn how to eat to live and do it regularly. You know, especially if you're someone with a problem at this point, you want to get better, then start doing better. Change what you're doing and start putting things in your body that can help your body to heal. The body is a self-healing mechanism, but it can't do it if you're putting the wrong stuff in it. You can't put toenails and well, you might be able to get away with putting some toenails in there if they come from your toes. But anyway, you need to make sure that what goes into your body, whether you are sick or healthy or whatever, it needs to be something that has life in it. Because if it's not no life, it's dead. Dead food cannot make you alive. And I know there's, you know, gazillions of people that like certain things, and they'd almost want to die if you try to take it from them. We get those kinds of, you know, state every somewhere within a week, there's going to be somebody that wants to get well, but they can't give up their, you know, their meats and their bread and they, whatever, all the stuff they're putting together. They can't seem to back away from it long enough. How long do I have to do this? How long do you want to do it? How long does it take to get well? Oh no, get started. You know, and then you find out when you totally get to where, you know, your pains are gone or your bumps are gone or lumps are gone or whatever, and you're feeling better. You have a, you know, smile on your face every day and everything is, then it's still not time to stop. It just means, okay, let me keep working on this building so it doesn't fall flat on me as soon as I go back to my ways of eating all the stuff that I wanted to eat. There are ways to get your health back if you follow the plans. If you don't follow the plan, then it can't work for you. So always keep that in mind. Because the life you save may be your own. If you eat garbage, then what do you expect it to be? And a lot of the things that people are ingesting are just that. I don't care how good it tastes to you. I don't care how much you love it. If it's not healthy and plant-based, in most cases, it's not going to work for you. You can make early morning, you make smoothies, things that are liquefied where you swish them around in your mouth and swallow. You're not sitting there chewing up on a big hunk of something and it's going to sit there in your stomach for the next week. Maybe not quite that long, but it's going to be there for quite a while. And when is it supposed to digest? See, that's why we don't put things in our bodies like that. We have to put things in, especially from 8 o'clock from 8 to 12 is the elimination cycle of the body. That's when the body is actually getting rid of waste. And if you cram it up at that during that period, with a lot of stuff that's staying right in your stomach, then it's blocking the train that's bringing the junk out. It can't get out. So it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And we see ourselves gaining more weight and growing more and the stomach getting larger and this and that. And all that down the line is happening because we are not allowing the body to excrete the waste. We hold it in for how long? About hours. So if we learn how to do that, how to follow those cycles of the body, we can help ourselves a great deal. And say, okay, I'm going to do smoothies in the morning. I'm going to create me some healthy smoothies. I'm going to get me some berries, some blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and get some leafy greens. And just put it all into a bullet, something that you can grind it up and turn it into liquid. And then when you take some in your mouth, you swish it around, swish, 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 swallow. And now it's already liquefied, so it's not going to jam up anything that goes in. It's not going to stay there. But you have energy in it. The energy is the key here. It's not how much stuff you put in your body, is what's in it. Dead food is dead food. And if it has no energy, can't give you what it doesn't have. And so you have that one cycle from 4 a.m. to noon. That's for liquids, things that are moving fast. They got good nutrition in them, but they're not hanging around. And then you skip for 1 hour till 1 o'clock. Then you want to get into your appropriation cycle. That's when we start getting the things that we want to appropriate for, say, the meal in the afternoon. If we may start that meal at 3 o'clock, and you have a couple of hours, if you do that, you get it done. You want to make sure you're able to finish your meal and still have time for some digestion. We don't want it to get into the assimilation cycle, which would happen at 8 o'clock. We don't want anybody eating after 8 o'clock or eating too close to 8 o'clock, because that food that needs to be digesting, it needs to be actually getting broken up to get into the next phase. It won't do it, because that it's assimilation cycle that happens from 8 p.m. till the next 4 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't happen. That's why we have a lot of stuff that just stacking up. And see, so learn how to eat to live instead of just live to eat. Go buy Harvey and Marilyn Diamond's book and start reading. There's a lot of books out there. In fact, I need to clean out my big closet in my office, and I could probably give everybody one book to read. But this is what helps us to overcome maladies in our bodies. It's when we learn the right methods of keeping a body healthy. Because if you keep putting garbage into your body and expecting it to change into some great healthy food, you're fooling yourself. A lot of people have been doing this for a long time. And, everyone that comes into the health service place, Dr. Rabb's place here, we treat them as human beings. We don't act like they're animals or whatever. But there are some that will test your test your mind or your whatever. But some of the questions, and it's okay to ask questions if you're seriously seeking knowledge. But when you are just almost like you're trying to challenge somebody something, well, you can go somewhere else and do that, because I don't need that one. I'm not into that. I'm going to share with you what plant-based things can do. And if there's a case where you have to have animal tissue, then do it at a time when you're not clogging up the part of the body that's supposed to be digesting the foods that are trying to get out of there. Because the longer it stays in, the more garbage you're going to accumulate in your own body. So that's just it is what it is. But there are many, many books that have various modalities of how you can be well. And it's not a hard thing to do, folks. It's that we get stuck on something that we like because we've been doing it a long time. And a lot of it is we started as our parents were giving us that same thing, and we just grew up with the same stuff. We never changed anything. And now we're wondering why we look like two people instead of one. It's because we've been putting too much of the wrong stuff into the body that needs a lot of right stuff. Plant-based nutrition is the best thing for humans, but we want to be like animals. So we start eating up a lot of meat, and those who are, well, you got to have some meat. Says who? You don't got to have anything. But if you one of those folks that want to have a little bit of something, then maybe you want to do it like one of my doctor friends. He said, just put a little sauce over it or something and eat it raw. So I don't care to do that, so I don't do any of it. But sometimes those things can help you. And but when we start all of that cooking, if there was life in it, the life is gone, because you're frying it or you're boiling. You're doing a lot of heat, and a lot of the people do that with the vegetables. They want to have a pot of greens in the afternoon, but they want them in the next hour. So they put them in a pressure cooker instead of in a crock pot or something, and put it on the lowest. Keep it at 20 degrees and no higher. But no, because they can't get it the way they want it, and that they more time. So they'll put it in a pressure cooker, and then when you get it, everything is sloppy and whatever. I mean, it's all, there's no life, is what I'm trying to say. There's no life to it. And if you're eating things that don't have life, what are you eating for? You're just eating, for taste? No, you need energy in your food. The whole cosmos is loaded with energy. Energy is what makes the world go around. Energy. If we have no energy, we have no life. And so that's why it's necessary to make sure that what you are putting into your body will be able to go through the body, go through the bloodstream, go through the limbic system, into the subconscious mind, into the conscious mind, and out into the body as unadulterated life and energy. That's what we need, folks. We need energy. Energy is what makes the mare trot, makes all of that happen. Energy. But if you're just eating a lot of dead stuff, then you're not doing a whole lot for yourself. I know you think, well, I eat good. Yeah, right. I've heard that a lot of times. And we've over the 40-something years I've been involved in natural medicine, I've seen it, I've heard it, and we need to really start looking more at life itself. How do I stay healthy? There are books. You can go to most health food stores anywhere and find books where you can read, and this way it helps you to understand why you need to do these things. But if you never do it and you just want to grab something that tastes good and something that you like, and you keep doing that, and then after a while we start having problems. And then from that, most of the time, some people will go to a doctor, some will go to a holistic doctor. And
got a question over here.
okay.
Well, good morning, Dr. Rabb, and happy birthday.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to work with you in all these years. And
the pleasure is really mine. I learned something every Wednesday, and today I learned something. And I think you might want to put this one on a T-shirt and brand it. when you said the boogeyman is on your plate.
Well, sometimes those things just fall out, come out of my mouth. But
I did have a question
okay.
from a brother Siddiqui, and I believe you know him. He's on
Siddiqui?
Facebook right now, listening to you via YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, that's Siddiqui.
He wanted you to elaborate on the pill. People are taking pharmaceuticals and pills, and if I'm understanding you correctly, that is not necessarily the best way to go to achieve better health. My question, to elaborate on his concern, would be, what is the pill actually doing? And I'm just going to hang up and listen off the air. But thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Well, the first thing about pharmaceutical or pharmaceuticals, they're not natural. They don't have plant-based life in them, and there are some things that can short-stop or help you short-stop a particular thing that's going on in your body. But what happens is most people, they don't just stop with a little bit. They will start on these pills, and heaven forbid they get a little relief from it. Then they think, hey, my doctor is great. I got this and I got that. And they just keep going. And every time they get a little problem, they add more. Now, drugs are fine for, if you have a problem, you do what you got to do. But you can't look at it as food or as natural things that are coming from God's pharmacy and thinking that it's going to do all the things you needed to do. No, because these are dead-based minerals, and it doesn't matter where you get them or who you get them from. Now, like I say, there are times when they can short circuit, the boogeyman that's coming. They can help you in that case. But if you keep doing this over and over and over, then eventually you'll see just like what's happening to people all over the place now. We get all of these pharmaceuticals in our body, and the body ends up, full of this, full of that. It's people are having dialysis and all kinds of things that we're doing with cancer. All of this is happening because we are not taking proper care of our body. And the body needs natural, healthy plant food. And until people start learning that and start doing it, they're going to have these problems. And you just can't keep violating laws of God and of energy and of all of, nutrition and expect to get well and to get better. But sometimes we get so caught up in the fact that I like this, I can't live without it, that kind of thing. So this is why we really need to take inventory on what we're putting in the body, understand what the body needs to keep it healthy, and look into some of those books out there, especially like the Harvey and Marilyn Diamond. Look at the cycles of the body, and there's a lot of different books out there that, in fact, I got a closet full of them. I might start handing out some because I can hardly get in there, so many. But this is why what we do, we need to learn the difference between pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. And a lot of people don't understand that to this day. And we have people coming into this system here that are coming in almost like at the end of the line, and they're looking for you, can you do this? Can you do that? And we don't treat diseases. what we do is we have people that we recommend them cleansing programs, and the cleansing programs are there to clean out, help the body to clean out a lot of waste. It helps to clean up the liver, the gallbladder, the kidneys, up. And that's why you have to focus on that. And while you're doing that, you can stay away from the things that are so solid. Get you some smoothies, things that the body still has energy, but it's not interfering with what you are trying to accomplish with restoring your health. And so that's really what we need to key on looking at the health food places, looking at the books that tell us how we can get more energy into the body and how we can stop harming ourselves by eating all of this animal products in the morning and breads with it. I mean, we're doing everything upside down and backwards. And so it's hard for you to overcome, a problem when you continue to do the problem. You playing in it every day. It's just very difficult to fix a problem when you every day you're still messing it up. You're still breaking it. So that is, I can talk about this all day, but it's not going to work until the person stops doing it. Understand, why do we detox? We detox because the body needs to get rid of some waste, or it gets overwrought with toxic waste. And then that's when the boogeyman starts eating up your body. Well, if we periodically we go through a detox and be serious with it, and not no 2 or 3 days, you do it for a month. What's your hurry to get back to what you were doing? No, take some time to give your body a break, put it some naturally healthy stuff, fruits, berries. There are a lot of good things out there we can use. And it's not about, if you're a person who like to eat meat, then do it away from when you are cleansing, when you're detoxing. Don't do it during that period. And if if you want to get, back into it, maybe like my one of my doctor friends, he said, he gets you some raw lamb and don't cook it. He said you can put a little seasoning on it, and you put that in with your vegetables and your other things, and then you can do that. So, but once you cook that animal, it doesn't work, because you've already killed it. So you kill it and kill it again. But the objective is to do things that brings the body back in the proper perspective, bring it back to life. And if we're not doing the right kind of foods, we're not getting the right rest, exercise, all of these things are necessary to keep your body going. And I just had my 80th birthday, but every morning that I get up and I'm doing exercises, 3 different ones, and I've been doing them for quite a while. I might miss one every now and then. Sometimes on Sunday I say, well, I'm gonna take a break today, and then there are other times when I said, no, it's only going to be 20 minutes or so for me to do all 3 of them, or not even that long. So I just do it, and it has helped me a lot in my joints and just energy in my body. I can lift things now that I used to on my right arm. I couldn't lift nothing. I couldn't even get it past my waist. If I hang my arm straight down the side of my right, I couldn't scratch my back. I couldn't do it, none of that. And I went to an Oriental doctor down in Chinatown, and he showed me some things, and I started doing them. And now I can take my right hand and scratch the top of my left shoulder. And I don't mean from the front. I do it from the back. I take it and go around the back and up up there, and I pat on top. Now, some time back, if I tried to do it, there was no way I couldn't do it, because it was all that part was so out of kilter till I couldn't. The left was fine for whatever reason. It didn't happen to it, but the other side did. Well, now they're both equal, and it has been for some time that because I worked at it, and I got it, better and better and better until finally it went all the way up. And so now when I show that to folks, I just take my right arm and go around behind my back and go up and they see me patting my finger on top of my left shoulder. And that didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen in a dream. It happened by me doing it, actually. And couldn't do it the first day. The first day, I mean, I started is what happened. I got started and I kept going. I didn't have any fancy gadgets at that point either. Now I've learned a lot of different things that I said, wow, if I'd had that then, it would have been easier for me to do this. But I did it with just my body. And right now, most of the things I do it that way. But there are times when I have different toys that you can play with, and help you to strengthen your different parts of your body. But the initial part of this for me was with when I did all of that moving my own body, moving my body, moving my feet, a foot up my leg on one side and do that 100 strokes, and then do 100 strokes on the other side, and then sit on not sitting on the chair, but putting my palms of my hands on the chair, and I'm dropping my body to the floor, and I'm pushing myself back up with my hands, with my arms. And that's a lot of that had to do with that arm being able to raise up and do the same thing the other one does. And it was a little thinner at one point, and now they're about equal. So there are a lot of things you can do if you just do it. It's one of those things. If you have the wherewithal to stick with something for a while, instead of eating all of the animal products you can find and then putting them all together, a lot of those things should never go together in the first place. But that's what a lot of folks do. They eat meat and bread together. They eat meat and this, meat, all of these things. They don't digest together, and so you have a lot of undigested stuff, and it's going to help mess up your gut, your microbiome. It's going to clog up everything. That's what happens when we don't take proper care of the body. The body is a it's really your best bet is to keep it healthy, because you never know when you're going to need it. We need it all the time, but it's just there are times when we want to just say, I don't feel like doing this today. No, I make myself do it even if I don't feel like it. And there's an occasion now when I may not do it on one particular day, but I'm not going to go through no long drawn out situation of I'm tired of doing this. No, because some of the things that it has done for me, I would probably could be bedridden by now if I hadn't done something. And so someone shared with me how to do these things. One was the Oriental doctor downtown. And then I learned some other things, some others. And but it all worked. It really did. And I have stuff in my closet that's been hidden up in the closet for some time, that was all kinds of things that I was doing when I was at a much younger. And I just had to get back to doing some of those things, because if you rest, you rust. And I remember a gentleman that I met in the service. He used to he would go out every day, even when we were on the aircraft carrier. He would be out on the deck, running back and forth and doing his exercises and whatever. And at the time, I was maybe 18-year-old, because I was still in the military. And so, he would just be out there doing his laps and running and all kinds of stuff he was doing. And some of the guys would, man, look at him, why he doing all that? Well, he was getting his body where he wanted it and keeping it there. And I'll never forget him. I'm sure he's probably not around now, because he was older than I was at the time, but he was healthy. He was a healthy person. And it just, over a period of time, I played a lot of sports and did a lot of things, even after getting out. But when I started the natural healing, I didn't get to do as much of the things that I used to do, the athletic type things, because I was traveling here and there. And I would go play golf with some of the people when I'd go to the different towns or the cities. But my whole thing then was, I was, going into places to assist people to have a better life. And I did a lot of that. And right now there are people who call on the phone, people I haven't seen for a while, and they tell me who they are and how they met me and whatever. And I don't say, well, I don't remember you. I don't do that. I just say, oh, okay, how you doing? Because they're not just saying something if they didn't do it. And so it was really a pleasure to do the things. When I went into Canada, even went to Spain once, and all over the United States, South, North, Midwest, East, just traveling. You could call me a traveling missionary, but I was, out there to, to send some messages to people who were open to listen. And that was really what got me really going down this path, because once I started, the pilgrims of going around the country, more people learn who you are and they see what you do. And here I am at the age of 80, doing a lot of these things. And I won't say I'm doing everything at the same level that I was doing, but I'm still standing tall, and I'm helping folks that show up that want some help. It has to be someone who really wants to help yourself, because if someone is coming in and they just want to, they want you to throw this at them and throw that, and they're not planning to do anything on their own, then I don't get so enthused on that one. But if the person wants some help and they want to learn how to do this and do that, because we have a lot of nice products on the shelf, and we're actually adding more. I have a person now that's working with me that, we're doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing on my own. I just couldn't do it. But when someone comes along, let's say a ram in the bush or whatever, you can get more done. And so that's what we're doing. We're putting more things into place, that some of them that I had there before, but I had stopped it. And now it's actually coming back into play. And that is good. That's a good thing. Because a lot of those things that I put together during that time, they were very good things. And it was, like I said, but you get to a point of, you age a little bit and had a little cognition going on here and things like that, and so it just kind of short circuited me for a while, slowed me down. But I'm back on a good foot, and it's getting better and better because of the help that came. And also, it's time for me to go, and I hope everyone have a blessed day. And if you have problems, come on by the Holistic Health Service and see if we can do something for you to help. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.
Is that what they say?
They say you are what you eat, so I strive to eat